What up, everybody? Welcome to Native Wellness Institute Power Hour. I'm your speaker for this Power Hour. My name is Kasey Nicholson. I come from Fort Belknap Indian community. I am part of the Native Wellness Institute team. And I thank you and I appreciate you guys who will be tuning in soon or who will be tuning in not soon. It don't matter because you can still watch this later on, or you can watch this on YouTube, where they will be where they will be showing it. Yes. Hello. Okay. So if you guys have any comments or any things you want to share, don't be shy and share it, or comment in the comment section, and we can always discuss and share. I'm only going to be on for about 45 minutes because I am actually going to go get my shot, COVID shot or COVID vaccine shot. And so I'm a little nervous, and to be truthful, it's okay, but I'm going to smudge up and everything will be good, be real good like that in a good way. Okay, Tina. Hello, Marie. Hello, Cynthia. Hello, Kateri. Deep perception is truth as far as one can see. Fire. Yes, right, exactly. Thank you, Shared with Sober Native Humor Group. Thank you, Kateri. Appreciate that so much. What up, our bro Marcus Red Thunder Senior? What up? How you doing, Marcus? All right, so let's get started. Hello, Chantel. I was nervous. Ask. Stacy McAllister said I was nervous. Also, okay. Okay. All right, here we go. Again, my name is Kasey. Wahe Panitain, Anisa Wasnalkak. Or you could say Wahe Niti, Wahe Nitain, Wahe Nitai, whatever. Relatives and friends. And Anisa Wasnalkak. Kasey Nicholson Hasihina, Ninana Aw, Ni, Pakani, Epselaga, Cree, Arapaho, Alaska Native, probably some other stuff all up in this. Also, Noah Neeson. Today's a good day, and I'm happy you guys are able to tune in with me and share a little bit about what we do. Always good to see Dean or hear from Dean Snow. Hello, he's a good bro of mine. Known him for a long while. Thank you, Janine. I will be fine. It's just any shot. I don't necessarily even get the flu shot, because I'm confident in my immune system to fight off, the flu. And this one just a little unpredictable, and so I just feel better that I would go get a shot, protect others, mainly, especially our elders. From I know it's not 100% where you're not going to pass it on, but you'll be more. I don't know. It just. Yeah, just a little nervous. It's okay. It's okay to be nervous, right? It is. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Native Wellness Institute. Probably my boss said, we're happy to have Kasey Nicholson share about crabs in the bucket. Now, I guess, is that a cue? Huh? To just get started? Okay. My name is Kasey Nicholson. I've done several talks, and I'm a comedian, motivational speaker, wellness speaker around the country in North America. I do a lot of the talks and a lot of presentations to various different communities, urban, rural, Canada, North America, like I said, Canada, US, all over the States, travel a lot, and except for the pandemic, and so you're not really traveling much. But going through my travels and listening and hearing about this term, crabs in the bucket, and you hear it a lot. You really, really hear it a lot. And me and many of us that are listening or watching today think about that term and what does that mean exactly, crabs in the bucket. Where did they come up with it? I don't know where they came up with it or how they do what they do in terms of who termed it or who coined it, um, why we use it today. And I think the thing of it is really, um, sorry, I'm just trying to share it myself. Is sorry, is how we how we define that crabs in a bucket is like, like when one person is trying to get out, the other crabs are trying to pull it down. That's kind of essentially what crabs in a bucket is. Every time a crab tries to make it out of the bucket, the other crabs reach up and say, "No, you're not going anywhere. Get over here." And the other crab says, "Oh, okay. Well, looks like I'm not going anywhere," and gets pulled back down. Okay? So as I go around the country and I'm listening to this term, especially amongst Indian communities here, and we have a lot of crabs in a bucket syndrome among Indian country, where our people try to get off the reservation and they're not allowed, or they're trying to succeed in life and they're not allowed because the other crabs are pulling it down. The other people, our people, are pulling the successful person down. And I am thinking, as I hear this story, but what if the other crabs are actually trying to get out? So that's a change of perception, right? If we're always perceiving the scenario as a negative scenario, like we are against each other, or this is the worst outcome that can happen, then we are always going to view and strive to make that outcome a reality. And that's what's going to be stuck in our generation, our kids, their kids. And that's what it's always going to be is the crabs in a bucket syndrome. But what I'm trying to do as a speaker, motivational speaker, as a thinker, all these things, and I'm not saying we're not all thinkers, we're not all motivational speakers, we all are. But the fact is, if I could change that scenario to make it be more optimistic in what we do with that situation about crabs trying to get out of the bucket, then maybe we could change our perception on how our people deal with success, or deal with failure, or deal with trying to rise out of a situation, if we had this talk in person, I know there'd be so many different views coming left and right. What if this? What if that? Have you looked at it this way? Have you looked at it this way? All I'm trying to do, come on today, is to show you a different way of thinking and to challenge your brain, challenge your mind, challenge your cognitive behavioral routines, and how to just to think differently, just to change your perception. Because I think it's so important that we do that nowadays, because we get so, modeled into a certain way of thinking and doing that we feel sometimes that's the only way. We don't want to think no other way. This is the way, and it's just like, well, what if? A lot of our people, we wouldn't have survived if we didn't have that person saying, what if we went this way with it? What if we thought about it this way instead of doing it this way? Could we give that a chance? There's our people used to think that way. I know, but let's try it, and whether it works or not, I don't know. That's totally up to you guys and how you guys view it. The whole crabs in a bucket, I think there's this thing that called failure. It fits into this bucket, you know what I mean? It fits into this mold of things of failure. And that word failure is so fearful to so many people that they freeze, they fear, they fight or flight. They sit there and I don't want to fail. And I think sometimes the crabs in the bucket syndrome, again, another perception is maybe that crab was on the edge of getting out of the bucket. And maybe no other crab, and maybe the crab was the other crabs were like, hey, pull me up. And the other crab that was over the edge was thinking, oh man, I can't do this. What if this? What if that? They self-sabotage the success. I'm up here over the edge and I see this world beyond the walls of this bucket. And it's pretty intimidating. I don't know if I can succeed or survive in that world. Then the other crab looks down in the bucket and says, man, it looks safe, you know. It looks, I mean, that's where all my other people are, but maybe I should just go down there. And they keep tugging at me like they want to come and join me, but after they see what I see, maybe it's just better for them to stay down there and not worry about what's going out on this world, because I think they'll be safer or fine in there. So as the other crab is pulling, like, help me out, let me see, I want to see what's out there. I don't know how you got up there, but you got up there, and he pulls. And the other crab that's almost out says, you know what? I don't want this bad enough. I'm just going to fall back in, and I'm going to join the rest of the crabs. So usually the crabs in the bucket is saying, hey, you can't succeed. We don't want you to succeed. You can't be better than us. Okay? That was the mentality a lot of people think. But what if the crab on the top was thinking, you know what, this is something that I don't really want to adventure into. That's one scenario, or one perception, right? Another one is maybe that crab just doesn't want it enough. You know, maybe that crab that's just about to get out of the bucket just doesn't want it enough. I mean, if it wanted enough, it would have lost its arm, its leg, its whatever, it's being pulled down, and said, get off me. I'm getting out of here. And it got out. Instead of being pulled into. Like when you want something in life, no matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody does, you go get it. Because that's how bad you want it. No matter what happens, you know it's going to be for the good. Even if you have to sacrifice some things, you're going to go get it to make sure it happens in a positive way, so that your other people can see, your people can see all the hard work and the sacrifice and the effort that has been put into getting you over that edge to go accomplish great things in the world. Maybe that one crab that was over it just didn't want it bad enough. And it reluctantly allowed itself to be pulled back down. So there's a lot of good scenarios that we can draw from crabs in a bucket, instead of just saying, you know what, I don't want you to succeed. I'm going to pull you back down so you don't succeed. That was the old mentality. But the new mentality, or the new perception that you can create yourself, because that's what we're allowed to do, is think beyond what other people want us to believe and think, because we have a mind, we have thoughts, that we can do that. And we can create and build a scenario or a situation that fits our life, fits what we want in our life. If we continue to follow what the status quo is, our openness, our vision gets tunneled. And I'm not saying tunnel vision is not bad, but there's certain times you need to use it and not use it. And in this situation, especially with defining, like someone said here, the generational genocide, PTSD, there was another one here, where was it? Lateral oppression. A lot of stuff will use this. Exactly, Stephen. What is the solution? I don't know. This situation is not to create a solution. We don't always need a solution. You know what I mean? We always don't need solutions. Like, okay, you know, here's an example. And I gave it in my last talk actually today about a baby walking, okay? And the perception of it, you know, of how it changes and how it molds and how it kind of differentiates from a baby to an adult. And I'm like, well, they're still human beings. How come they're not treated the same in terms of positivity and greatness and fostering success? So a baby gets up and starts walking. It falls, walks, falls, walks, falls, and walks, falls. It fails all the way through until it gets from point A to point B. Not once does a parent or caregiver go over and kick the baby, says, you stupid, idiotic, worthless, dumb, you can't accomplish nothing baby. Doesn't do that. It's always encouraging it. You can do it. I believe in you. Come on, the boo-boo-boo babies. Even when the baby's carrying a bunch of poop and pee in his diaper, okay? That it doesn't need, but it's carrying it. But it's so focused on getting from point A to point B by walking because it sees everybody else walking, There's the solution. No one's really giving the baby a solution. They're just letting the baby kind of figure it out and letting it mold to a certain way to get from point A to point B. Now, is it going to be criticized? Is it going to be applauded when it does it? Sure, that's just kind of how we do. That's how human beings will react to a baby. But the baby itself does not know what the solution is. The baby is thriving and driving off of positivity, greatness, wants to accomplish the goal that, and he or she don't even know it's a goal. They just go. Let's just go A to B. No matter how many times I fall, the baby's not even thinking about falling. It just falls, right? It's not even thinking about failure. We see the baby technically as failing every time it drops. Okay, but even then we don't think of the baby as failing, right? We think of the baby as, oh, it almost had it. Oh, it's gonna try again. You can do it. It's a building block to success is how we're viewing this baby, right? And so as the baby kind of starts walking and it falls, the baby doesn't know what failure is. There's no definition of it. It doesn't understand what it means to fail. So it continues to get up and then fall and get up and fall and get up and fall. The baby does not sit there and say, oh, my life is over. I messed up so many times. I can't. I am such a loser. Confidence issue. Doesn't know what lateral oppression is. Does not know what lateral violence is. Doesn't know any of that. It's just thriving off of positivity and being goal oriented towards a direction that it feels it can succeed because everybody else seems to be walking. Why can't I walk? So it keeps continuing to walk and fail and walk and fail and walk and fail. But we're not terming it as a failure, but that's kind of more or less what the baby is doing. But there's no particular solution to how to make this baby walk. Do you understand? I hope you understand that. Like there's no solution to it. It just is what it is, and it's unfolding the way it's supposed to be. But as human beings, always feel like we need a solution rather than implementing an obstacle or a situation and letting that person figure it out and create their own solution and fostering that solution, saying, wow, that really worked for you. Right on. Good job. We don't go in there and tell the baby, you know what? This is how you walk. One step in front of the other. Stay up. Use your legs. One foot in the other. Heel to toe. Heel to toe. Don't go this way. Don't go that way. Don't go up. Don't go down. You got to go straight. This is what you got to do. We're not saying that. We're letting the baby fall and roll and play and laugh and cry and figure things out in life. Ah, blue, ha, ha, ha. And we're sitting there, come on. We're encouraging them. We're wanting them to go and do it. Uh-oh, what happened? I don't know what's happening. My hopefully trial and error works. Hopefully you guys can still see this. Give me a thumbs up or happy faces or whatever if it's still going. What if you make it and you can't help others because globally all my relatives across Mother Earth are fighting? What if you make it, and then what's the term, right? What's the term of making it? I mean, that's what you got to ask yourself, right? What is the term making it? Like, who's defined what is making it and what is not making it? Making it over the edge, I guess you would want to say. Yeah, making it over and saying, okay, I made it over the edge. Now what do? I don't know. I believe in the peacemaker, one mind, open heart. Thank you so much, Stephen Bartlett. Those that hang with turkeys can't fly with eagles. Again, who said? I mean, of course, obviously, turkeys can't fly with the eagles because eagles fly. I mean, there's two different people, obviously, but we won't go too deep into that discussion, okay? Hopefully the video is still good. You are good. Okay, good, Marie, thank you so much. Nina Renshaw says, when one perceives through a loving and empathetic eye, there can be more progression toward a positive solution. Went out for 1 second. Oh, okay, thanks, Marie. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's mine and maybe it's, I don't know. So I was away and then I did increase my internet when I got back. So in terms of like reception, but they said it's going to take like 24 hours to actually like fully fire, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so crabs in a bucket, changes your perception. Same thing. It's like the baby is doing, but we don't We don't view that baby as failing, okay? But when we as human beings fail or fall or get hurt, or not get hurt, but fall or mess up in work, in family, in relationships, we are sometimes more often than not looked as failing, as incompetent, as we can't do it, as less than. And it's just like, whoa, that's the crabs in a bucket syndrome that we used to have. Is, okay, you messed up, you better come back down here with us, because you can't obviously succeed because you're not perfect, right? Or because you're not perfect like us. I don't know, okay? But that's what happens is when we fail, we often just attack. Rah, 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 rah. And we fight and we quarrel and we argue and we talk and the whole lateral oppression thing, and we gossip and we tell that person, I thought you could do it, but now you can't do it. Nanny, nanny, boo, boo kind of thing, And it's just like, wait a minute. This person failed. Not failed, but this person messed up or failed. And we're ridiculing them, we're criticizing, we're ostracizing them, we're telling them they're less than, and they can't do it. Why do we do that to ourselves? And that's what we say to ourselves even. Like when we mess up, we're like, oh, we're such a failure. Why did I do that again? I can't seem to get anything right. How come I keep messing up? How come I keep falling? And then we beat ourselves up. Not only are we beating ourselves up, we're also getting it from all the different factors from everyone else, our boss, our relationships, our social factor. We're just beating ourselves up, and we create this again, crabs in a bucket, like ourselves. We actually pull ourselves down, called self-sabotaging as well. And it's like when we're almost to that point of succeeding, or we're getting to that point of like we're there, sometimes we just fall back. I just wanted to see the view, and we don't strive to get out of the bucket and tip the bucket over and let the rest of the crabs come out. Okay, exactly the same thing. Is like, why do we have to pull? Why don't we figure out some way to, like, everybody on a count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and we all tip the bucket? I don't know. Again, perception. How are you viewing that crabs in a bucket syndrome, or perception, or view, and how can you make it something different for yourself? How can you make it more realistic and positive for yourself? Yeah, there's people against us. Yeah, there's things that we have in terms of, trauma and violence and oppression, all these things that we have in our life. We have those. But what are we doing to get ourselves out of the bucket? How much self-belief and how much support do we have? Even when other crabs are saying, get out of here. You go do it. You got this, and they get out. The crab's like, wait a minute, I don't think I want to get out of here. Somebody pull me back down. I don't know. That's an example as well, okay? I want to read some of these messages. Okay, it's working now. So Renee Bear King says, set your intentions with goals, long-term and short-term, your objectives. Okay, the thing with goals and long-term goals and short-term goals and objectives is it's easy to say. It's really, really easy to say, and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. But at the same time, how many of us are realistically setting our goals and working at them every day? Like, you got to really think about what you want for your life and how you want to achieve it. And are you setting those realistic goals and working on them every day? Because I always hear this. I'm gonna set my goals, and they're gonna be short-term, long-term goals, and I'm gonna achieve them. But then we get lax. We get kind of lax and saying, oh yeah, those are my goals. I've always wanted to do those things. And we get lax and we don't really work every day to achieve those goals. We set the goals and then we think that's the end. We don't achieve the goals as soon as possible and then set other goals, right? We just set a goal or a couple goals, say, okay, when I get there, then I'm done. But I feel if we set our goal and achieve that as quickly and sufficiently and efficiently as possible, and then set another goal, I think that's how it could kind of work. You could be your long-term goal, then those short-term goals are the ones where you accomplish and get to your long-term goal. I'm just saying, that's just an example of, I hear a lot of people saying they got these goals, and then that's where it ends. It's just like, well, are you working on them? Well, I got a goal to lose weight. I got a goal to get rid of my type 2 diabetes. I got a goal to become more spiritual. I got a goal, like, okay. What are you doing? What are you doing about them? Where's that going? I'm just asking. I'm not doubting you, but I want to understand, what are you going to do with those goals, or what are you doing to get to achieve those goals through your objectives, I guess. Even a turkey can gain success. Yes, exactly, Tina. Thank you so much. Make it means enough. Okay, Stefan says, make it means enough crabs have a healthy way out. The whole bucket tips over and everyone is well. How do we make? That's how. When you make it, that's, yeah. I don't know. My thing in terms of helping the other crabs is me helping myself and hoping they are more as open to success as I am. But when I leave over this edge of the bucket, of course I'm going to do what I can to tip it over or to help other throw a rope over and help them climb out. But that's all I can do. I can't really force them to come with me. You know what I mean? I can't force. If the bucket is tipped, they might figure out a way to tip it back up, and say, I'm not gonna, no, I'm not, no, I say, oh, wow, I see what you're saying. That world is, whoa, hey, let's figure out a way to tip it back up. This is too much for me, okay? The self-esteem, self-confidence, healing, working through the trauma, spirituality, belief, hope, understanding, all that has to play a factor into the whole bucket. But I don't think no one's really going to be able to get to that point if more crabs are not willing to either pull themselves up or willing to jump off that edge, more or less, and say, okay, I got this. I can do this. I got the support of the crabs in the bucket. Of course, they don't need to be in a bucket, so let's figure out a way to get them out. This is going somewhere else I don't want it to go to, but that's kind of like what it is. Again, the scenario and perception of how many different scenarios you can make it to fit what you feel is going to benefit you the most, or to share a story with your loved ones. So right. Greetings from the Netherlands. Oh, thank you, Katja. Marie Knight said, I think it's difficult to help others out of the bucket when you are not strong enough to both pull them out and keep yourself from being pulled back in. Exactly. Sometimes it doesn't work the way we hope, and we don't know what to do when things don't work the way we had hoped. How much are we investing into hope is another question you'd have to ask, Marie Knight. How much are you investing into hope? Is it factual? Is it gonna happen for sure? The reason why I say how much are you investing into hope is, I guess hope is hope. Like, I hope so, but how much are you investing into it? Because I hope they get out, and then when they don't get out, then we're disappointed. Okay, so I'm valuing my hope or my sense of my energy into another person when it's not mine to invest in, or my energy to invest in. Okay, when they're kids, yes. Okay, you're investing your hope and your energy into your kids. But when they become adults, or when they start making their own decisions, where's that definition of disappointment, right? Where did you get that definition in terms of disappointment? What does it mean to be disappointed amongst your family? Like I'm playing with the perception again. Okay, the crab's in a bucket, but I'm playing with perception. When we say disappointed, what does your family view as being disappointed? What do you value as disappointed as? What does your kid value disappointed as? Is it all one, or are they different? Can you change it to fit what you feel is going to benefit you the most within that scheme of the situation, right? Allison Dick, hi. That's just an example, Marie. I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just trying to change the perception. Like, define these words that we've often got from the modeling, from the behaviors, from different things in life. Like, change it. Like, ask your question, where did I get this sense of feeling mad all the time because someone failed? Like, did I learn that, or is that just in me? Search it. Look for it. Play with it. Change your perception. It might work. Tina Norman, yeah, no way to keep it going. Stronger, do right. Allison Dick, it says, I feel like for a moment, but I am hitting up my resources. Yes. Gratitude. Cassandra Tice said, Miko Diaz, sounds like me, sadly. I don't know what part of that sounds like you, Miko, but You're a good person. You're awesome. You're positive. You're great. You're successful. You're alive. I don't know. Those I don't. I'm trying to spit you positivity, but maybe that's what you already know you are. I don't know. Empowering Renee Bear King, empowering self and others. Okay, and again, we can empower people. Like me, I'm a motivational speaker, wellness speaker. We're always talking about balance and wellness, and here's some tools and resources, some things you can do to get you onto a journey of healing, or to continue your healing journey. But am I empowering you, or are you empowering yourself by listening to me? I don't know if I have that power. I don't know if I have that authority or power to empower you, because I'm empowering you. I'm doing this, but it's not really me. Again, this is perception, okay? I'm shooting you with perceptions. I'm not saying this way is the way it's supposed to be. Just it's a perception. Am I? If it wasn't for you listening to anyone that's that's empowering or speaking good words, then I essentially wouldn't be empowering you if you weren't listening, or I wouldn't really empower you if you were listening. You give yourself the credit to empower yourself by listening, to implement. Okay? So essentially, I am just providing tools and resources. Here it is. You wouldn't say I'm building you a house if I didn't lay a finger on the house. I just gave you the lumber, the tools, the saws, everything. I wouldn't be a builder. I would just be providing things for you to build yourself. So you essentially become that builder. You essentially become that person that it has empowered. You empower yourself, believe it or not. Again, it's a perception thing. Like, challenge your way of how you're thinking and how you're coining the words to define something. I'm just asking you to perceive it differently, or to rearrange it, or to think differently about it, is all I'm asking. Okay? That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to argue or anything like that. I don't want anybody to think, oh, he thinks he knows it all. He's trying to get me to. No, I'm not. I'm just saying, hey, have we ever thought about it this way? Okay? Ellison Dick said, I recently got fired, but when I read an article, a lot of people have been in my situation soon. There's that. Renee Bear King says, vision board. Yes, I like those. Marie Knight says, be willing to change and adjust goals as our own lives change. Yes, and that's the only constant. Well, one of the many constants. One of the few constants. Consonants, like, we have only been speaking English for some odd 100 years. So, when we mess up on words like, specific, and when we actually say Pacific or pants, we say pantses, don't judge me. Just joking. But change is one of the few constants that we have, but also time. Change and time. And what are you doing with the time, limited time that you have to change for the better? Are you just thinking one way and only way? Or are you being open-minded to other ways to think, and then kind of filtering it to think a certain way to fit your life and how it's going to make you better than you were yesterday? Again, the question, right? Copacetic. Nope, copacetic, like a job, like my situation, not thinking I can come up with solutions. Yes, Allison Dick, this is a good topic for you guys to discuss or shoot around or debate or however. Walk the talk. Just do it. Walk the walk. Walk the talk. True. Again, easy to say, different ways to do it, right? I like to encourage learning healthy self-direction. Okay. Allison and Stefan are really going for it. I like it. Jack hiring. Sorry if I messed that name up. What are the steps you are taking to reach the goals? Are you asking me, or are you just kind of generally saying, see how to reach the goals helps others see how it works, encourage them? Yes. Just like you did with the baby, right? When the baby was trying to get from point A to point B, always falling and failing and stumbling and hurting and crying and laughing and doing all this stuff. We never sat there and ridiculed the baby. We never told the baby, you're nothing, you're worthless, you're stupid, you can't accomplish anything in life. We continued to tell them they can do it. So it comes back to that question of, when we go into the crabs of the bucket, and we're trying to pull, we're the old term of pulling the other crab down, telling them that they're worthless, they can't do it, lateral oppression, all these things. Why do we do that? It's not a question. That's a rhetorical question. I'm not looking for that to be answered. But it's exactly the same thing. It's like, why don't we give ourselves the positivity, the encouragement? Why don't we give others the positivity and encouragement that we give that innocent baby? Again, rhetorical question, or you can make it into a family discussion. Totally up to you and how you want to face that. But that's, again, I think we have to discuss that as a people, as a family, as a couple, as a relationship, to understand where that lies in terms of either uplifting or putting down somebody. Okay, that's just something that we need to really think about. And then, how do those terms come into play in our lives, and where did those terms come from, and how did that work out for other people? Is it a life that you want to live? So on and so forth. Okay. Hope is confusing to me, Allison Dick said. Stephen Bartlett said, hope is putting myself in other shoes, meet them where they're at. Nina Renshaw said, I guess the word disappointment means the hope that wasn't appointed where one wanted to be. Hope is eternal. Okay, and again, the whole, where did you get the definition for hope? From Webster's Dictionary. How did you define hope? Where did hope come from? Is it part of our cultural ways, our cultural teachings? Is it Anglo-Saxon? That's just a question to elaborate the mind, to figure out, where did hope come from? What does it mean? What does it mean within our people? Is there a word that kind of comes along with that? Because epigenetically, inside of us, we get certain things in a certain way because of our genetics. Okay. It happens. That's just the way sometimes it happens. We can't get too scientific, but that's kind of what happens, kind of, sort of. Expectations lead to disappointment, and acceptance leads to growth. Stephen Bartlett said, I like to use the word honor more than hope. Okay. Again, different strokes for different folks, right? Exactly what happens. But the crabs in the bucket scenario, it really comes down to changing your perception on what it meant ish to what it could mean. Changing the perception so that we're not always thinking about it a certain way. Hope, encouragement, empowerment, all these things, like, those are things that we can redefine, rearrange, replace, whatever it may be, to define or to make the situation different, so that in my mind, in my opinion, to make it more positive, if that makes sense, to make it more able to make it more, so I can grasp the concept better, to make it work for my life, so that I can work towards self-empowerment, self-healing, all those things. When I get over that bucket and saying, wow, this world looks pretty crazy, I'm not fearful of it. There's a little fear there. There's a little fear, but I don't want to fear everything and run. I want to face everything and rise. So let me conquer this fear and this opportunity to fail, to strengthen me and not weaken me into this world that I will become successful at. That's an example. And in turn, I will throw the rope. I will knock over the bucket. I'll do whatever I can to help my people say, hey, look, we can do this. We've been resilient for so many years. Our grandfathers, grandmothers, great-grandfathers, great-grandmothers went through so much sacrifice for us not to stay in the bucket, but to get out of this bucket and to thrive and live and be successful. Because I'm pretty sure, as our older ones were sacrificing and suffering for the longevity of our people, they didn't really say, oh, geez, this is what I hope they do. I hope they attack each other. I hope they keep each other down. I hope they hold one another down so that they don't succeed in life. That's why I'm going to do this, is because I want them to do that way. No. I don't believe that. Um, I believe they sacrificed and suffered for us to live, obviously, to have the opportunity to live today, but to also say, you know what, I'm going to do this because I know my people will thrive, not only survive, they will rise above the challenges that will face them, and they will be stronger because the result of it, because our elders knew what sacrifice and suffering meant through ceremonies, through going through famine, running away from people that wanted to hurt them or kill them. And that's kind of what we owe to our elders, our old ones, is changing the perception, changing how we view things, rather than being so negative and pessimistic, but being more optimistic and working every day to better ourselves and our lives, so that again we can thrive in a life that is limited with time, and we're able to adapt with the change that we have coming through. If we're blessed with many more years, I feel that's how it can happen. But that all comes down to us individually and how we perceive things, how we allow the world around us to dictate what we do on a daily basis, how we let our people determine or influence our success. When individually it comes down to us personally and what we really want in terms of goals and objectives and hope, empowerment, self-esteem, self-confidence, all these things. It comes down to you. You're listening to this right now. Think about what you can do to change the perception and the outlook on your life so that it's more attainable, more realistic, or not more realistic, more optimistic for your life. I have to go because I have to go and get a shot. That's going to be a great opportunity. And yeah, I thank you guys all for tuning in. I'm going to read a couple more. Res Bucket to Res Bucket and Finding My Place Again. Walkie insists, thank you. Oh, hopefully I said that right. I'm so sorry. I do prayers during the day and night. Try to eat well, get good water, walk a lot, talk to nature and the beings. Walking because each step is a prayer. These practices help me have a good perception on the journey. Then you good talk, people. Yes, it is a good talk, Stefan. Thank you for chiming in and sharing with us. Really appreciate your words that you shared, the good medicine that you shared. Nina says, can't see what your shirt says. Not all who wander are lost. Okay. And with that, I got to go. I want to appreciate you guys for tuning in and joining me for today's Power Hour. I want nothing but the best for you. I want nothing but love for you. I want you to help each other, be good to one another, love one another, and work on your healing journeys to become better than you were yesterday, even if it's just incrementally better. Okay? As long as you're moving forward into that space of wellness, you're going to be just fine when those challenging obstacles come. You're going to be just fine. Thank you guys so much. And don't let failure weaken you, but let failure strengthen you in your walk of life. That's all I got to say. Okay. Take care, you guys. Nahaban. I will see you guys on the next talk, whenever that is. And take care. Thank you, Native Wellness Institute, for all that you do for our people. Much love, much appreciation. Have a good one. See you guys later.